Hello, dear internet humanoids. Welcome to the third and last part of me introducing my Xena book. In this section, we tackle the dating apps phenomena, and here we have the Thumple app, the app that is designed to cripple your thumb. The Thumple, cripple your thumple. So the profile that I have exhibiting here is an actual profile that I had to interact with in real life. You see, his name is Stu Fart, and he's 45 years old, introducing himself as an owner at a petty law firm, and he's a graduate of Stanford University. He has his looking for section obviously intentionally omitted for obvious intentions, and he says under this a beautiful, super organic looking rich white, but also like athletic and like outdoorsy selfie photo says, I'm known for buying old houses. Well, I'm that filthy rich is the subtext that you see here, implying that I have so much money that I can just go out there and buy old houses like I'm buying new shoes. So the missing info section is well, this is all implied, and smart ladies like myself will read these non-existent infos on these profiles, such as, yeah, I am as shallow as I seem, and I am married with a kid, and I am only looking for a sexy fling with an exotic female I would never commit to while I'm away on business trips, and I have zero time except 4 hours of scroll on Instagram. Well, I am a professional lawyer, and will never admit or explain the truth because only I matter. So this is actually exposing how stupid I can be at times, willingly and knowingly. So based on this profile, just because it's a match, I do think to myself, what do I have to lose? He keeps typing, even though I wrote, I can tell you're just here for entertainment. And I bet you're married with a kid too. Why did you omit that important info? And who trusts a lawyer? Typing, but I love your vibe and your style. Somehow I really like my choices of clothing. And he says, "Let's meet and grab a dinner, please. Come on, please, please." And he's like trying to convince me, and all the while my gut's thinking, "Don't be an idiot now," because seemingly this is like how they talk about that 1%. Actually, I think that's more like 2% of all the profiles that every lady will pretty much right swipe on, because well, all that criteria that every lady is pretty much looking for: 6'2", got a profile photo with like a suit, but like not too uptight, just like everything looking almost perfect. Stable and graduate of a Ivy League school. I guess I had to just give it a try. And then I think to myself, well, this guy sounds like it's just like the rest, but he appears confident. I should go out there for the 1% chance that you might be the exception to the rule, that good looking and successful guys or players never will be honest or appreciate one woman when they feel entitled to many. I just think to myself, let's swipe right anyway. Hypergamy is my factory setting too. Surprise, surprise. But if this guy is really smarter than me, I want a guy I can respect who doesn't have a fragile ego. Is he worthy of my respect? But what woman wouldn't want a 6'2", good-looking, successful guy with a degree from Stanford? And then my gut's saying the whole time, in the meantime, don't trust him. He'll think you're prejudging him. But I can already see the dude is an irritable, entitled user, trust fund kid spoiled by mom, would never appreciate you. And so, yeah, we got a date. It is an impressive one for starters because, well, he actually did the one thing that men just never do anymore these days, which is planning a really nice dinner at one of those Michelin star, like super famous chef type restaurants that you're just sitting there talking to me. My friend's restaurant business. I want to grow my own business. My daughter's so talented, and my massage therapist did that the other day, and my neck pain, and my this and my that, the whole time, blah, 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 about himself and nothing else. So I think to myself as he's talking, zero attempts to get to know me. It's literally asking me no questions about myself, which is like, obvious red flag I could not overlook. Yet I'm still thinking, I just can't focus enough. This guy is super boring, but I love those green eyes. And yeah, he's nice and pleasant, but yeah, clearly the typical rich white guy. And but so I'm just like, this is bullshit, but I still go for it for a few months, and just because, well, he would fly out across from North Carolina all the way to California to see me several times, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's real dedication. It's the only reason I kept talking to him despite this first impression of boredom and a self-absorption here. Anyway, so after 5 months of just proving to me that my guts were correct, I'm sad. I had almost could have said almost had lady butterflies in over a decade because I couldn't resist a warm hug. Yeah, he had those. So I had hoped he would earn my respect, let me express myself without him getting offended or ditching me for it, like most of them do. I even hoped he would defend my copyrights and be my hero. He actually supports talentless Karens organizing art walks in his firm, but he didn't even look at my art. Nothing but my ass interested him. Yet another selfish, shallow, entitled, allergic to truth jerk with no empathy. Surprise, surprise, aren't they all the same? Yeah, so I tell him exactly how I feel, and he ditches and just completely disappears. Obviously, the whole time I was right about the whole thing. And yeah, total liar, total lawyer, super wealthy, super supposedly successful, but you know what? Still an asshole, still a jerk, still a self-absorbed, irritable man-child. And I hope he gets to see this someday, somehow. I did actually send a copy of this Xena book, but I'm sure it probably just got trashed right away because he has no idea what good art is and how valuable it is. Since, all he knows about art is it's like stupid flower pot painting painted by another, rich ass Karen whose everything is sponsored by her rich ass white husband. So on to the next page, we have looking at the truth and how heavy a burden it is to be carrying it all the time on her back. So the truth says, thanks, Aaron Arrowrinch, for taking me out of that PC chat room, politically correct chat room. Now lay me down where all eyes can see, and you will no longer feel crushed under my weight. I may hurt you now, but only I can set you free. This culture produces an excess of cheap, easy, worthless, disposable crap, so no wonder there are so many liars, cheaters, treasures, and ghosters. They can't see the irreplaceable value of something that took so much power and dedication to build, which is the pyramid of enlightenment. With every brick of truth you lay, we shall rise above this sick culture. And here you see me. Actually, the giant rock of truth is chained to my ankle. And I'm thinking, okay, hauling this is starting to hurt my back. Also, I know I'm tough and all, but can I actually get a man with some muscle to help out? On the next page, we look at the selection process for the ever elusive offense immune Chad, who shall earn my respect. So this is the offense immune Chad. He's phenomenal creature that is kind of like the unicorn. Nobody really had seen one I know of, but he's pretty epic nonetheless. And this is him at the farmer's market selling these tomatoes that he genetically engineered to shrink tumors when digested. The patent is open source. He makes it so that everybody can share this amazing information. So you can alternatively grow your own for free, and the proceeds go to the dog shelter. Intelligent, honest, and generous. I say honest because he actually admits that the bunch here is half of them are rotten, and he won't even try to hide it. And in the meantime, Erwrench melts away from extremely hot contents of oozing respect. So she's tempted more than Eve ever was to eat those tomatoes. In the meantime, the dumbest dude with the Rolex over here, he's thinking to himself, why do only slutty hoes want to ride in my Maserati? I made a fortune shifting money without producing shit. I should be the man. This is like the finance bro who's just a narcissistic asshole, but he's been effectively convinced that he has everything it takes to impress every woman ever, and the Lululiness is quite something. On the next page, we compare the offense immune Chad versus the offense absorbent Hans, who happens to obviously be German. The offense immune Chad, the phenomenal character we're all after, he takes jokes and negative feedback and appreciates it actually, but does not tolerate disrespect. He doesn't crumble because he has true confidence. You can tease him without fear. He also pees upright because it's his right, but will clean up after. The offense absorbent Hans, on the other hand, he can take a joke and negative feedback, as can all Germans, but also allows unfair, disrespectful behavior as he lacks self-respect because, he was emotionally neglected and didn't ever quite had a chance to develop a spine. So he also doesn't crumble because he's emotionally numb and in denial. Actually, he pees sitting down just because some authority figure told him to. And even when nobody's looking, he actually pees sitting down. And he doesn't think twice about it. He's been effectively repressed and oppressed, but he doesn't yet know it. So the conversation I would have with the offense immune Chad, honor me with his presence, I would be saying, "Hey, what's up with that cocky stride you got going on?" And he'd be like, "I'm making sure our Mother Earth feels good when my feet touch her." I say, "Are you another dishonest player who actually hates women?" He says, "I like that you're smart to check if I'm trustworthy guy first." And I go, "So, you don't think I'm being too judgmental or cynical to ask?" He says, "No, I wouldn't trust anyone before they prove they're worthy." Wow, you sound like you have what it takes to earn my respect. He says, "Only in time, I would hope to." And I think to myself, are you an alien too? And so this is basically the rest of the conversation I'm having with God Blob. This is God Blob, and this is all there is to him. But he's quite shiny. He says, "I made human males more fragile, but gave them strong muscles to make up for it. If you get on top of a man, you might break his pee-pee stick, and you might also break his spine stick when you get on top of him and other things." I say, "I don't want to anyway, but they always find a way to fall under me with the dumb things they do." He goes, "I know, babe. Top quality spine and PB stick material is made of blue gold, which is imported from another planet. Those made on Earth typically break within seconds of exposure to truth or feedback, especially coming from a female." And she goes, "Am I going to hell for offending some guys, though? I might have broken a thing or two." He goes, "How else would you know? You have to blow some punches to get to see who gets knocked down. By the way, the right one will give you zero urge to knock him down. You could even take it up a notch." Silly, don't worry. I'm the biggest fan of South Park. Everyone needs to be humble sometimes. So, yeah, God Blob's got my back. He's giving me the good prep talk. And he says, "I know you didn't try to hurt these poor fellas. You grew up around somewhat emotionally unstable and insecure men who were hard to trust. You subconsciously attracted these types who felt familiar, and you wanted to fix them to cure your childhood woundings, since you couldn't fix the men in your family. Also because you don't want to be lied to or deceived, because that hurt you the most. You also treat them with the golden rule in mind, and spill truths they're not strong enough to handle. You put them to test to see if they crumble." And he thinks, "I must help this poor child find her blue gold spine. She will appreciate it more than anyone on earth after 40 years of these limblings. So God's on my side." He says, "The only way for an earthly lady to take and keep a man is to fully trust him. You had no good reason to fully trust anyone. So far, it was all shown to you, so you know the difference when you actually make the one with the fine spine. He'll never lie or pretend something he's not, and he'll only tell you the truth. My awkward child," he says, "you must first believe in the existence of the offense immune chat, who'll make you feel all safe to express anything without him crumbling or ditching you for it. And only he can love and value you. I see that in 40 years you've never met one with a blue gold spine attached to their brain, but you do need that for your caliber of lady to fall in love. You're certainly not for the faint-hearted." And I go, "I believe you because I see you, but are you really suggesting I believe him without evidence?" Based on our conversation, I think to myself, God Blob makes so much sense. I guess finding my offense immune Chad with a solid spine and pee stick who won't inspire me to joke about his moral and intellectual failings will take going off to space to harvest some of that blue gold bone dust. But wait, I hope that doesn't involve dealing with Ilhan Mosquito and his autistic ass to get there in his space car. And I give my thanks to God Blob. I always knew you were more of a cool blob than a douchebag with a beard. You gave me solid bones, but this whole ghost artist and getting ghosted for telling the truth thing isn't working for me. Can you make me visible where it matters? Otherwise, the ghostly life is chill and stress-free. And also, maybe can you give me an X-ray vision that detects spine quality?" And he says, "Please understand, many guys feel completely invisible too, because deep down they feel worthless and powerless to do the work it takes to graduate from boy to man. And the way they treat you like crap is just the projection of how they feel inside. Boys mature slower than girls, and you grew up next to your twin brother who talked, walked, and learned everything slower than you. So you started experiencing early on men being in competition with you and feeling jealous of your progress." He says, "Don't worry, your fine ass is quite visible too. You just didn't want to be seen before." He says, "Stay on Earth. He'll come and find you. And here's what the blue gold spine looks like so you can recognize it. He's going to seem otherworldly, and seeing him is going to feel like a lighthouse leading you to safety in the middle of a dark, endless ocean." So I get the full approval and guarantee from God Blood that I will make the spine of my dreams. And to which I say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, God Blood. And that is the end, folks. Hope this was somewhat entertaining. And see you in the next video. Bye!